Hey everybody. Um, Felt called to a second share today. I'm going to wait a second for a few people to join here, but it's around what I call radical responsibility and taking your power back. So in the title of what I wrote here, I just said, what if, and then air quotes, what is happening to us, air quotes, is actually what is happening for us. And this is probably going to be a hard question for a lot of people because it forces us to take a responsibility for what's going on in our life. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm still in victim on stuff once in a while. It's just easier that way. But I'm going to tell you, as I've dug and as I've worked through all this, I'm finding more and more and more that a lot of this stuff happened in childhood, is past life related, is lineage related, all these beliefs, all these what I call women problems, relationship problems, money problems, business problems, etc., all came from beliefs, and most of them programmed into my head before the age of 8. So religion did that, parents did that, government did that. All these things they built from their own reality, their own wounds, their own stuff, and those went directly into how we were taught as children. So if your parents had money issues, it's likely you'll have money issues. If your relationships or your parents' relationship was codependent in some way or manipulative, or somebody was wounded and had a trauma and didn't deal with it, you got them. You've got some form of it inside of you, buried in your subconscious, and you're not even aware that these are beliefs. And then they start to play in your life. You can't figure out why. And then you eventually get to the point and you just say, holy fuck, I'm fucked, or I'm cursed, or this isn't working. I've obviously done something wrong, or there's something wrong with me. And that's how they got you. The whole system gets you by telling you that you're not worthy, and you can't have a relationship, you can't have your twin flame, you can't have joy, you can't have money, you're always going to be in struggle, blah. But I'm going to tell you right now to just simply do this. When something bad happens to you, maybe it's not the right moment at the time, but when you're going and looking at it next, ask, what is this teaching me? What's underneath this? Why does this keep showing up? Why does this pattern show up? Why does this thing that I'm in victim to keep showing up? And ask yourself some really hard questions. Good example, here's one. So a pattern showed up today. So I parked my truck to get a sandwich, and the guy beside me was a little too far over, so I was just a bit over the line on the right hand side, because otherwise I would have hit somebody's door. And then I come back and I'm starting to eat my sandwich in my truck, and some guy pulls up in the too narrow parking spot, and he just leans on his door, and I'm sitting in the truck and I can feel it as he's trying to scratch up my door. And I'm like, as soon as he closes his door and he's walking by, it's like, hey, come on, man, what the hell? And he's like, you're over the line, it's your fault. And it's like, absolutely no accountability of this man. I want to get out and punch him in the face because I was being careful to protect the other person. Now all of a sudden he's gaslighting me and telling me it's my fault because I didn't follow the line because he's too freaking lazy to go to another parking spot. But this brought up for me, how many times has my door been scratched and how angry I am. And it happened a week or so ago. You can go back on one of my lives. And okay, what was in this for me? Oh, it got me to vent a lot of anger. I wanted to punch the guy. I wanted to get out of my truck. I wanted to back into him repeatedly or whatever. That's a lot of anger from how many times has this happened? You've got a brand new vehicle and somebody's scratching your door. And I never got to process that anger. I never got to whatever. So in that moment, start to show up. Okay, what's the lesson for me? I got to move some of this anger. It's going to come out. That guy didn't do something that I should have hurt him or punched him in the face for, but I was ready to back my truck into the side of his car so he could never open his door again because there was so little respect in the way he treated me or whatever, all because I tried to stay over and not scratch the other guy's door beside me, and I got it full face in the ass. So what's that teaching me? situations like my relationships. What's that teaching me? Why do I get wounded women? Well, that was some of the wounding that my mother had, and the manipulation and the anger that I had at being manipulated in my childhood. And she didn't even know she did it, but that was her self-protection mechanism. There's nothing bad in any of this, but we're mired in this muck of other people's traumas, our parents, our sisters, our brothers, our past relationships, our government shit. All this stuff is trying to keep us controlled, keep us angry, keep us frustrated, keep us sitting in victim. And when you're in victim, there's nobody you can attack or go after, like that guy with the door or whatever. I was a victim of people scratching my door or whatever over and over and over again. Finally, I got to see somebody that did it. Well, thankfully, it didn't leave marks on my door, but how angry I was. So now I got to deal with that. Okay, am I a victim to that anymore? No. Do I have to park 3/4 of the way across the parking lot or whatever? Do I have to follow the rules when nobody else follows them? It creates all these angry little puddles. So all I'm suggesting is when you say that, why does this keep happening to me? That's a statement of a victim. Because you have no power. It's happening to me. You have no choice in it. It's going to keep happening. It'll show up whenever it wants, and you will be angry, and you'll be frustrated, and you'll be powerless and a victim. But if you say, how is this happening for me? What's underneath? Why do I need to keep seeing this? Especially if it's a pattern, if it keeps showing up and it happens again and again and again, and it makes you angry, and makes you triggered, and makes you frustrated, here's one of your lessons. The universe will continually pick at the scab of whatever is bothering you until eventually you make a choice that's better. And some of it could be that unconscious stuff that was programmed before you were aware at age 8 or whatever. It goes in, and now it's like, oh, well, I gotta be nice to people all the time, or I gotta whatever. And you'll find out that you're doing things that aren't self-loving to you and hating yourself for it because you have a belief. So that thing that's poking you and saying, hey, I'm not worthy again, or this isn't working out, or whatever, is telling you that you've got a belief that you're going to have to go look at. And if you ask, eventually something will come up. It'll just pop up in your awareness, or maybe a day later you'll be just sitting there and it's like, oh, fuck, I don't have a boundary there. Oh, I should have stood up for myself. Oh, I should have complained. I should have whatever. But before you just sit there and be angry and frustrated, oh, this keeps happening to me. Oh, they keep dinging my door. Oh, they keep doing this. Well, go in and explore the peace. I'm not meant to be trampled on. I'm not meant to have these bad things happen to me. I'm here to have divine experiences and not have to worry all the time and protect myself and park a long ways away or whatever. These are all things that are just scratching at something that's underneath that's really not serving you. And the more and more you're gentle with yourself and say, okay, there's something there, you can heal it. You can go sit with that part that's angry, and then next time it won't happen again. The universe won't have to keep beating you senseless with versions of something to make you angry, upset, realize that your anger and upset is to your mother, to something in your past. And especially when the energies are way stronger than the situation, you know there's something there to look at. And that's what I am learning today. So use that. Next time, this is happening to me. Why does this keep happening to me? Instead, ask, why is this happening for me? And you're going to find some stuff. And guess what? That thing's not going to happen again. The pattern's not going to go. Maybe it'll take 3 times of why is this happening, because there's layers. But once you get through it and you deal with the crap that's underneath that's hurting you, you're going to find out that you're deserving. You're worthy. You're capable of love. You're capable of being loved. You're capable of relationship. You're capable of freedom. And everything changes. It gets fun from there. So take a look at it. See what you see. And yeah, put some comments in the bottom if you like. Love you all. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.